about channeling. What's the problem with channeling? That when someone is asking a question, the message that is being accepted is exactly according to the question. So if you don't ask the question properly, you are going to have a partial answer, and you'll behave according to that answer, but it's not the full answer. In order to understand truly and to receive a proper message, you need to ask maybe 20 questions or 50 questions to see the entire picture of the issue that you are asking on. Now, most of the time when people go to channelers, the channelers don't have the patience to receive 50 questions that are going to dig the answer from them, that aspect, because the angels, let's say it's a pure angel that gives the answer. You ask him a question, he will answer a very narrow answer exactly according to the question, without telling you the full picture. And then this is how a mistake can take place, because you don't see the full picture. You see a very narrow answer, even though that it's correct and it's from a pure angel, but still he is not allowed to give more than we are asking. And sometimes even if we are asking exactly what we need to ask, they are not allowed to give the answer because we are not ready for the answer. We don't have the merit for the answer maybe. So even though that we will get the proper answer, we can get into a mistake by that, because it's a very narrow answer. And again, this is from experience.
The right question to ask is, what question should I be asking?
So it's for you to ask, not for them to tell what you should ask. Now, when it's speaking about channelers for the study of the Torah, it's different. For example, Rabbi Yosef Karo had an angel that was teaching him. You know about that? He had a Magid, and he wrote a book from the messages, the study of Torah that he received from the Magid. The Magid was an angel. That angel was created from the study of Rabbi Yosef Karo himself, because he studied the Mishnah so deeply, and he gave to it all his heart, that his study created that angel. So the angel that came to him said, I am the angel that was created by your study of the Mishnah. And from all the people in your generation, you studied the Mishnah the most. This is why I'm coming to you. You invested in the study the most. And he was starting to guide him the spiritual path that he should take. For example, telling him, don't drink too much wine during the week. Don't eat too much meat during the week, that it won't affect your way of studying. And he was guiding him, giving him explanation about different things and different meditations, different meanings of the Torah study. So for the Torah study, this is something else. And again, usually what we are saying, you don't posek halacha, you don't decide on how to go according to the rules by angels. You don't go by that. You go according to what the rabbis wrote, what they received. Which means even the question is, can you count on Elijah the prophet about the meaning of halacha? To decide halacha according to Elijah the prophet.
Yeah.
So there are two aspects to it. If Elijah the prophet appears as an angel, that he can appear as an angel, you don't count on him. If he appears as a human being, which means he's wearing the clothing of a human being because he didn't pass away, so he can wear the clothing as a human being. If he's coming as a human being, you can count on him. Why? Because Elijah the prophet studied Torah from Achia Shiloni, that studied Torah from Moses. So you can count on him, but not as an angel. Which means in this world we go according to the practical side of life. We need to do it spiritually, but we need to go according to the practical side of life.
You know, if someone comes to you as a human form, dressed as a human being,
this can be misleading. This can be an angel that is dressed as a human being, or this can be an evil force that dressed as a human being, looking as a human being. It can be misleading.
So how do you know which is which when you're trying to take advice from an angel?
No, but I think you can kind of tell.
Can you?
Okay.
It's like a feeling.
Okay, it's a feeling, yes. The idea is like that. Your question is very accurate. The answer to that is, angels from the pure system would never try to force you to do anything and won't be upset with you ever. If the angel is like giving you a message and is upset that you are questioning his message, or you are thinking if to do it or not, and he's upset about this, and you can see like he's giving you the face, then it's from the bad side. Cannot be. The pure side is totally light, totally pure, totally good, not judgmental.
Take my advice or not. It's okay.
Yes. It's guidance. It's not that you have to follow. Yeah, exactly. It's guidance. Common sense.
We can't trust
Your soul and your common sense. We need to
But
understand.
our soul can also be
Sometimes mixed.
Well, we
So-
don't know if it's our soul because we have two parts too.
Yes, you are right. We need to use also the common sense and to go according to the way of Torah. And as in Nefesh HaChaim, Rabbi Chaim from Volozhin is saying that when you truly want to connect, you need to have one thought and that's all. En od milvado. No, nothing but Him, no one but Him. Totally to connect to the Almighty, to ask for the help of the Almighty. In time of trouble, totally en od milvado. He is the only one. To connect in your thought, in your soul to that force. So the idea is, what is the power to connect with? Without our common sense, letting go and really believing that the light will guide us. Even if we'll make a mistake, the light will guide us to the proper answer, to the proper way. Even if we made a mistake, it will turn into the good way as en od milvado, just trusting the light of God. It's not simple. But this is the entire shield of this universe is standing, all the emanations are close to the name of God. This is what's holding everything. So what is the first saying in Mishnah Berurah? You know Mishnah Berurah that's playing
Wake up like a lion.
Before that, before wake up like a lion, Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. I should visualize, I should see the name of God in front of me always. To visualize Yud Ke Vav Ke in front of my eyes. Like to be connected with that. Not something simple and easy to do. But if someone is able to connect with that, the sages were able to connect with that. So there is a story again with Rabbi Zusha, that one time that when he was a little bit better to do, he had a carriage and a person to ride, to take him from one place to another. So he's sitting in the carriage and studying, and a glon is taking him. He's getting into a junction, and the guy that is riding the carriage is asking Rabbi Zusha, where to go? There is no sign over here. Right or left? So Rabbi Zusha is picking up his eyes, looking here and there, says, go to there. So the carriage taker was upset with him. How do you know that we should go to there? There is no sign over here. How come you are saying there? So they don't know. Here I don't see the name of God. On this road I can see the name of God. Which means he would see literally the energy of the name of God on that road. So I know that I need to go to there. One of the rabbis of Chabad, I think, that when he was thrown to the jail, it was in a dungeon. It's dark there. How he knew? They asked him, how do you know when to pray Shachrit, Mincha, Arvit? It's totally dark over there. You don't see daylight. He said, what's the problem? Every hour, the name of God that's ruling over that hour is changing. So you see the name of God, you know what's the time. There are 12 sequences for the day and 12 for the night. They are the same 12, so you know which according to the name that is ruling in this hour, you know what's the time. So I know when it's the time to pray morning on Shachrit, Mincha and Arvit. He was in dungeon, but he saw the name of God that is ruling over the hours. Which means they were able to see it. We need it's not easy, but we need to remove all the shells of trying to believe in idol worshipping, the external things, and to go back and to believe in the one thing, with God, the strongest force. to believe in it and to connect with it. How to connect with it? Simply just to think of God and to ask for His guidance. Rabbi Elimelech, the brother of Rabbi Zusha, said once, people think that when they want something they should ask God for 1 time or 2 times and God should answer. If you will not answer, you should ask even 1,000 times. Don't stop. Ask and ask and ask till you'll be answered.
You talk about common sense. Is that a contradiction to Emunah? Let's take the example of Abraham offering his son as a sacrifice. He had Emunah, not common sense. And common sense is, what are you doing? That's common sense.
Abraham, in that moment, you are speaking about a person that is a prophet. And it's
a general idea. Forget Abraham as an example, but the idea is sometimes common sense and Emunah can be a complete contrary.
So we need to go according to Emunah, according to the rules of the Torah. Common sense is saying don't give tithing. Emunah is saying give tithing. This is the blessing. And when someone goes with it with total Emunah, he would see the blessing. When it's done with total Emunah, definitely a blessing will be there of giving tithing. It's logic? No, it's not logic. Once I experienced it in the most strong way. When I was teaching in Tel Aviv in the 80s, I had 40 people that are from Tel Aviv of the 80s, totally non-religious. And I was speaking about tithing when I spoke about the emanations. A few months later, a woman, a non-religious girl, not married one, young girl, came and said, it's working. I asked, what's working? She said, the tithing. Since you said it, I've tried it. The first donation, the first money that I used every time that I would receive a paycheck would be to give donation. And I gave it with cash that no one would know that this is me. That there won't be any influence that someone will pray for me or that. I wanted to see that it's working. The action that I'm doing is working. She said it's working. Usually I'm not finishing the month. And the past 3 months that I'm doing it, I don't know how, but I'm finishing the month. Even though that I'm giving the tithing as the first thing in the month. The first thing that I'm taking out is tithing that I'm giving. So tithing should not be the last thing, as many times we might do. If I have money that was left, I would give tithing. This is a big test that it's emunah and it's not common sense. And especially that today by halacha we are not, it's not a must to give tithing. It's a good behavior, it's a good minhag, but it's not a must because we don't have Bet HaMikdash. We don't have Bet HaMikdash, so it's not a must.
But Maaser is not a must?
Maaser is not a must. It's recommended by the Kabbalists that this is the best thing to do, always. But it's not a must. At the time of the temple it was a must, but now it's not a must, by halacha. And if someone owes money to other people, then he should first give back what he owes. Not to the bank, not mortgage or things like this, but when thinking about personal debts, then this should be first. And when speaking about education of kids, for example, if this is for Torah studies, this can be counted as tithing as well, because this is Torah study. So as you support someone else, you support your own kids for Torah studies. So if emunah, let's say that emunah it's a big part in our life. It's not just common sense. When someone is getting married, must be that there is a point in which it's emunah and not common sense to get married. That the person needs to do a jumping leap of faith in order to do that. Isn't it? It's a little. In a certain moment, it's a leap of faith that you don't know what will be, but you're doing that step. This. And sometimes people that don't have that, they are running away from the ceremony. This took place as well. Some people a day or two before will get cold feet and they will stop it. So it's a big issue, emunah or common sense. And in Judaism, it's stronger emunah. The emunah is stronger. Because when you look at families that have, let's say, 8 or 10 children in Bnei Brak, it's not common sense. It's not common sense. but it's somehow it works. It's not easy life, but somehow it works. And when they're asking the parents, how did you manage to assist all the children to buy apartments? Most of them are buying apartments, somehow. So if not in Berndak, in another city, it's not common sense, illogical.